On today's video, as part of 401's attempt on dropping out of Imperium, we're cutting down power, leaning down, and getting rid of some deadweight as well as accounts of folks who have left the game. In this video, we unfortunately had to get rid of one of Death Squad's accounts, and so that's what you're going to see, and an explanation, a little bit of what's going on, and kind of what the future of 401 looks like. So sit back, slap a like on the video, and let's go. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Now, let's start off with a few disclaimers. First and foremost, I got like probably over 50 messages yesterday. It's like, oh, why are you guys zeroing him? Why are you guys zeroing him? I didn't know that everything that a kingdom does needs to be justified, but I guess every single person and their grandma was watching this for some reason. And secondly, this was a account that previously belonged to Javi, I believe, and then it went under Death Squad's care once Javi was no longer able to play the game. And I think that something in the process, I don't really know exactly the fine details. But the bottom line is, my understanding is that this is somewhat of a coordinated. Personally, I don't care much about anything besides the fact that leadership put a marker, siege is here, and so we did. Whether this is coordinated, not coordinated, people are going to get pissed or not, that's not on, I can't do anything about that. But anyway, let's talk about why this happened and how it happened, and kind of a couple of things that were pretty hilarious yesterday. So this account was 175 million power, and it didn't do a single thing all of KVK. I think that there was a little bit of a connection issue with it, and so it is what it is. This account had to be zeroed. It was, I believe, the second strongest account at the time in 401, and 401 is in the process of dropping out of Imperium. We have a migration coming in. We have a group of folks, very good group of folks coming in to our dead kingdom, which is a very dead kingdom because 401 is dead without squad. But with that being said, the plan is simple. We're just going to send sieges. We're going to try to zero this city at least as much as we can, drop as many sieges as we can in the process, like that. And that's that. Not looking for any positive trades, not looking for any of that sort, not looking for anything but just to kill sieges, and in the process also zero this account. That's a 2-for-1. We did get some reports like this one where Yosh got relatively close in terms of power drop. Now, granted, 13 million troops, mostly T5s in a city against full sieges only. 4 million power difference is wild, considering the 2-point-some million dead on the one side and 1 million on the other. So it was an interesting day just siege rallying the life out of this 170 million power account. Now, in the process, I believe I dropped like 1.2 million power in sieges. I think I had like 400, 500k or something like that, T4 sieges or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Killed a bunch of them. Killed a little bit of Cavs in a very annoying mistake trying to join a Cav rally, which Rise of Kingdoms, I don't get you. The rally is on the in front of the city, and so I was on the right side, but for some reason my marches have to march to the left side because they can't join a rally from the right side, right? So they went all around. In the process, the AoE hit me twice, and rest in peace, troops. I don't get it, but anyway. We sent our sieges and eventually did indeed zero out this account, which was Javi's old account. I believe Death Squad was taking care of it for a while after Javi left the game. And that was that. Unfortunately, the matter of the fact is we have a lot of accounts like this one left in 401. People who quit the game, people who don't feel like playing, people who just don't know what they're doing with their lives, or even refusing to leave to an extent. And so in 401's situation, we're nearing the drop-off of Imperium. We have a nice group of people waiting and getting ready to rock and roll it with us. Although, again, I don't know why anyone would join a dead kingdom according to Facebook, right? This is a dead kingdom according to Facebook because squad left, right? And so, all in all, we have a very good situation going on in here where sieges got killed in the process. We zeroed a big account, didn't have that many resources, so it wasn't like a plundering scenario. But it was an interesting thing to see because for the first time in a while, I've been in a kingdom that is attempting to drop off of Imperium. In the past, I was in Kingdom 59. There was no dropping off of Imperium until tons of people left, which is now what happened. But in 401's case, we are fairly decently close now with the migrations out, with more people that are still going to leave, and with a couple of extra moves that we got to do, like fill hospitals, kill sieges, and so forth and so on. 401 is a kingdom that, unlike a lot of other kingdoms that kind of had like a, we'll call it a little crisis, the huge portion of the leadership, if not all of the leadership of the kingdom, did not leave. It was a small group of people that were part of leadership, but they were kind of like Squad was. They came into the system and became part of the kingdom's leadership. But before them, League was here, LIIG was here, and some of TN was here as well. And so it caused a situation where majority of the leadership remained, majority of the people leading the kingdom remained, and unfortunately, some of the leaders that I was part of playing with and enjoyed playing with were no longer part of the kingdom. And so, unfortunately, beyond the fact that my boys in Squad had to move on and do their own thing, and rightfully so, I think, their motives and their decision, their motives, were very good in my opinion, and rightfully so, should have done what they did. But 401 has to move forward. And personally, I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. A lot of people are like, when are you going to leave? I thought you were going to 254, but yada, yada, yada. I don't see myself leaving. I don't see this kingdom dying. I've seen kingdoms die before. I've predicted deaths of kingdoms before. And we've seen it all. At the same time, when I look at this kingdom, I see a solid leadership. I see a group of people that are putting in everything they can put in order to build up a better kingdom than it was before, with a lot of lessons learned in the process while what happened. If, for example, you told me half of TN and half of League's leadership would have left and the other half would have to hold on to what exists, then things would have been completely different. But there were even folks that were contemplating on leaving and then remained, not because of peer pressure or anything like that, but because at the end of the day, they saw that nothing really bad happened. Every kingdom has these life cycles that they have to go through. And the question is, how do you get through that life cycle? And what are you left with to try to come back from that cycle? As long as there's leadership left and as long as there's good people left, then getting the kingdom back into the tippity top is very easy. However, once half of leadership leaves, the other half goes to do their own thing, become AFK and all that stuff, then things start going bad. And even worse than that is if the leadership starts thinking that they are better than what they are, or they're stuck up, or, you know, they brag a little bit too much, talk a little too much, have a little bit too much of an attitude. And I've seen it. I've seen it in kingdoms dying. I've seen it in kingdoms who thought they're going to live through it and died. I've seen kingdoms that rejected me, for example, due to whatever things that leadership had to do. And when I went on and figured out why I got rejected from that kingdom, I was like, thank the Lord I didn't go there. Because at the end of the day, the solid foundation is the most important thing. Now, if 401 wasn't a place where I thought that there was a solid foundation, I'd be out of here. I have the passport pages. I have everything I need. I have offers out the wazoo of people, including people willing to pay me to be in their kingdom. I choose the kingdoms that I go to because I believe in the leadership, because I believe in what I see, and because sometimes I do like to take risks in places that are not necessarily proven. And so for me, 401 is looking good. I think that our migration is going to make our kingdom even better than it was before. I truly don't believe in the idea of becoming a number one Imperium kingdom anymore. I think that the number one goal for every kingdom that is looking to evolve is to maintain yourself at the bottom 5, if not bottom 3 of Imperium, and make sure that every single KVK you play, you drop off of Imperium. Now, a lot will say, but that's a B team, but that's a... whatever. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, the kingdoms that go massively up on those Imperium ranks are going to get stuck there until they have either a mass migration out or an insane KVK where everybody zeros themselves. Because after when you're in Season of Conquest, 50% of your troops are coming back. So even if you zero yourself, 50% of your troops come back, and that does count towards Imperium. So your Hall of Fame does count towards Imperium. And so there is no point to try to be the biggest, strongest kingdom, but rather stay at the bottom 3, bottom 5, so you can consistently get fresh blood in, so you can consistently have people who don't want to be here leave, and them leaving not be a huge impact. I'll give you an example really quickly, as you guys enjoy this zeroing. When the folks in Squad left, those who were extremely active, and those are the guys who left, it did cause some harm in the kingdom, because if we couldn't drop off of Imperium and lost that firepower and lost that activity, then we would have been in big trouble. This game is all about activity nowadays, more than power. And so in order to maintain your kingdom fresh and healthy with a lot of activity, you need to be able to get people in that are above 35 million power. And even more than that, you need to try to figure out how you get your top 300 to be as top heavy as possible while not affecting the Imperium too much, so that way you can bring in a good amount of mid-tier players, or not even mid-tier players, top-tier players who are not too strong just yet, that will then increase the strength of your kingdom. So I think that 401 is doing great. It sucks that we had to zero this account. I'm fairly confident that this account, people literally looked through, if I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of talks about this. I remember throughout the KVK talking about this account and what's going to happen with it and all that. And I think that this was like the last resort, the one thing that wasn't supposed to happen until this was like, we had to get it done. And so it had to happen. With that being said, you will see the end of this, because we have one more rally where we actually started rallying with real troops and whatnot. You can see now we're at cavalry and infantry, but I didn't record all the way to the bottom zero, because once you start hitting like 5 million troops, you only kill like 500k at a time, and it becomes really annoying and tedious. So while I was joining the rallies, I couldn't be bothered to record them. But if you go check out Thank You 401, it is indeed zeroed, which is unfortunate. Hopefully we'll hear from Death Squad again. I haven't heard from him in a while, and I know he's busy with real life and stuff like that. Shout out to the folks who did leave us from squad, the ex-squad crew in 254. Wish y'all the best of luck. Hope to see you guys on the field watching Redline streams from your KVK. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Appreciate this one of you. Drop the like on this video. Hit that subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Peace.